Hello, I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm addressing the QAnon audience. Well, we're here for another update. I am doing this on a Google Hangout, so you're welcome to join me. I put it in the link in the YouTube chat area, so you're welcome to click on that and join in if you want. But I'm going to first go over the latest on the QAnon updates, and I'll share my screen with you so we can see where we've left off and catch up. Mostly I want to focus on the Kavanaugh process of bringing him in onto the Supreme Court, and what's been going on has been kind of a series of desperate attempts, it looks like, from the Deep State to act and get anything against Kavanaugh, because they know that if Kavanaugh comes on, what's going to happen. So first, let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Let me get the set up here. Okay, I'll slide where we leave off here. Yeah, I've been looking into different say threads on different sites about who this person is that is claiming all these things against Kavanaugh. Or most people say it did not happen. Nobody can, there's no witnesses to this. Let's see, I'm looking for where I left off here. There we go. There's so much going on. Here we go. All right, share screen. Let's see. To everyone. Back over to the screen. I'll make sure that we're talking about. Oh, nope, that's not it. Why is it on that screen? I'll try this again. Sorry, I'm just getting used to Google Hangouts. Their share screen is a little more complicated than the one on Zoom. There we go. So this is where we left off. This is basically where they've set up a new location where people can go from Reddit, because Reddit basically censored everyone dealing with Q. Why is Q such a threat if it's just, a conspiracy theorist, right? Out there. So, get him off of everything. You'll be following, Alex Jones, right? The model for Alex Jones, to get rid of him. So let's go to this post. Prepare for sky is falling narrative from the left. So the D class of FISA will initiate the resignation and recusal and or removal of Rod Rosenstein. D class of FISA will initiate the awareness that all signers will be currently under investigation. D class of FISA will factually demonstrate without argument the U.S. government under Hussein, meaning Obama, Barack Obama, knowingly presented false evidence to FISA in an effort to obtain legal U.S. Intelligence umbrella surveillance of POTUS, identity target, for the sole purpose of influencing the 2016 election of the president. Not Russia, but Hussein / Hillary Rodham Clinton. It's a projection, right, is what they're always saying. Projection plus a safeguard against possible loss of power, firewalls, use of back channels, surveillance and spying, insertion, body 1, 2, and 5. So who is body 1, 2, and 5? By UK and Australia, right? Primary, active under Director Bernay, Director Clapper, with that's Presidential Daily Brief regular updates, plus live streaming of White House, Hussein, and live streaming of Obama in the non-oval Situation Room. So let's see, he set up his own Situation Room outside of the White House, right? Because he knew he was being they were moving out. Coordination. FISA full brings down the House, White House. All right. So step 1, read the first sentence, R.E. Rod Rosenstein. And 2, read the New York Times article about Rod Rosenstein, where a wire attempts to bait POTUS into fire to cross the red line will fail. Basically, Rod Rosenstein has been asking to meet with the president. They've been making him seem very irritating to the president, right? So that he'd just fire him. But that would be the red line. And after that, they'd actually call for impeachment against Trump. So that he's saying it's going to fail. So that's from a previous post, but this is the current post, what this is regarding. So declassify FISA, R.E. Rod Rosenstein, self-incrimination. Rod Rosenstein in charge of declass. That must be something, right? He's in charge of declassification, right? Due to massive conflict of interest, the IG, that would be Inspector General Horowitz, was tasked to final review with speed, right? Prevent left endanger sources and methods. As the left is, or the Democrats are all saying it's going to endanger sources and methods, right? Don't declassify this because it endangers the sources and methods. Well, the methods were really bad, right? How to set up somebody using Australia and Five Eyes. Five Eyes means eyes from 5 different directions, 5 different countries: Australia, UK, Canada, United States, and one other. So they were all spying on everyone else's citizens to get around legal things. Now, doesn't that really mean this is still is not correct? Because isn't it getting against what the idea of not spying on one's own citizens means? If you have someone do it for you, you would think that's really legitimate. Anyway, so POTUS will not be baited to fire when the release itself will force the resignation and termination of Rod Rosenstein. All right, UK, Australia, and others must learn the true definition of ally. Right. So basically, the UK and Australia have been calling Trump and saying, "Don't declassify this." Well, they're going to learn what it means to be an ally. Right? You shouldn't be trying to get rid of some other president, before or after he becomes president. Looks like we have some background noise from someone who's joined us. Let me go ahead and mute that. Okay, back we go. All right. So it will all come out, right? Lotus will not be bidden to fire and release itself will force the resignation and termination of Rod Rosenstein. UK and Australia, they're going to be in trouble, right? They're going to know what happens when they're, working with parties to unseat a sitting president and prevent one from getting elected. Right? They're going to be embarrassed, and they should be. Let's see, Rod Rosenstein prevented force from signing new FISAs. That's true. What does that mean? Force in brackets and prevented force. Prevented from signing new FISAs. So Rod Rosenstein is not allowed to sign the new FISAs. Interesting. So all signers are currently under, that is, what is it? Grand jury investigation. See, everyone that was signed. That includes Obama, right? It's been hinted throughout the Q things that Obama was one of the signers. All right, McCabe memos. What is this? A New York Times, Rod Rosenstein article, proof the rats are panicking, right? So basically, there's a lot of panic, and QAnon has been saying there's a lot of panic going on. Panic in the UK, panic in Australia, panic in New York, panic everywhere. And the Democrats, they're all panicking because they know what this all means. So, and trust Senator Chuck Grassley. Well, let me go into the Kavanaugh now, because we've caught up to what has been going on here in the past. But let's go back a little bit, and we're going to talk about Kavanaugh because this is very interesting. That this this panic has got people coming out. They're panicking and they're trying to figure out what are they going to do. So let me go back here for a second. Let's see. We're still on Rod Rosenstein's. Let's see. Yeah, there's so much going on. It's pretty much all over the place. Correlations that show that like 1 minute deltas, meaning that it proves that Q is with Trump. Here's Kavanaugh. Okay. So Brett Kavanaugh linked to Rod Rosenstein FEMA presidential alert system. So this is an interesting point. So was moving the date back on POTUS FEMA presidential alert significant? Due to the Kavanaugh confirmation push, hand in hand, Rod Rosenstein stand down due to Kavanaugh's confirmation. So they're tied together. Meaning they could have had an alert that was scheduled for last Thursday to go off, and where the president was going to appear on everyone's cell phone. Didn't matter where you were, what time. Didn't matter about Twitter. Didn't matter about anything. He was going to have a direct message coming out. Now, since they've linked it and they've been pushing the idea that there's something going to happen during this message, what could it possibly be? It's a national emergency broadcast. So this has to do with Kavanaugh. So how important is Kavanaugh, right? So Kavanaugh coming to the Supreme Court. because in the 11th hour, they come up with this accusation saying that he was sexually assaulting, or basically groping, groping her. Let's go here, and we'll talk about who she is, what's her background. So here we go. Kavanaugh accuser Christine Ford donated to the Clinton campaign, and that's not a problem, right? There's no problem. And is a daughter of a CIA operative and VP of Security. So I found many websites here. I'm going to go to another one. We're talking about, her and her father. So Christine Bailey Ford is a deep state operative teaching MK Ultra mind control techniques at Stanford University for the CIA undergraduate internship program for the CIA. So you can see that there's a lot going on here. So why? Nitty gritty of Kavanaugh accuser Christine Bailey Ford, right? Let's for a minute ignore the fact that she's a psychologist, researcher, and liberal college professor. Okay. Let's look for a minute let's for a minute ignore the fact. Oh, we're repeating that she's that she's a registered Democrat and Hillary Clinton donator. Yeah. Okay. Fine. And that she's also a pink hat wearing activist following the footstep of want to blow up the White House. Madonna, and I'm a nasty woman, Ashley Judd. So let's okay. They're ignoring a lot of things here, but I think what the point is that they really want to say that who she is, right? And is that she has a history. And we're going to go through that right now. We'll watch this.
Well, after a little digging, it appears Christine Ford may just have an axe to grind with Kavanaugh, but it has nothing to do with anything that happened between them in high school. Ford is a professor of psychology and statistics at Palo Alto University, who apparently goes out of her way to take a stand against President Trump and his administration. Back in January of 2017, she wore a version of a pink hat used by feminist activists as she marched in opposition to proposed policies of the president. But her quarrel with Kavanaugh may go much deeper than his simply being the chosen nominee of President Trump. Facts are now emerging that Brett Kavanaugh's mother, Martha, was a district judge in Maryland in 1996. Astonishingly, she also happened to preside over a foreclosure case against none other than Christine Ford's parents. As it turned out, Martha Kavanaugh ruled against Ford's parents on a property in Potomac, Maryland.
So that's interesting, right? That there's actually some history there that's showing that she was that she had a negative ruling by Kavanaugh's mother against their foreclosure. So there's something to taint
never
her
resulted
testimony.
In the seizure of the property. Yet this potential conflict of interest is going totally unmentioned by the media, who seem more concerned about playing up unverified charges than looking into a possible case of revenge. Christine Ford's attorney, Deborah Katz, is also a major donor to the Democrat Party and has called people who work for President Trump miscreants.
So you can see that there's a lot even there, right? So there is also conversation that basically where it shows that her father was part of the MK Ultra mind control techniques that were done back in the 60s for the CIA. So she has deep ties to the CIA. And there's some of these other websites are saying that she's actually teaching, CIA courses, or for students, undergraduate courses for CIA agents as a psychologist. So if the deep state is in a panic, what might happen right now is that they're looking for some kind of dirt because they have to stop Kavanaugh. Because what happens after the Kavanaugh? National emergency broadcast. What are they going to do in a national emergency broadcast that makes them so freaked out? Number one, you have their whole power structure from Obama, Clintons, and Bush's, all of them coming down. So that if they need to really stop this, how can they do it? It's already rolling. They have to stop Kavanaugh, no matter what. So what do they have? They need a weapon. Oh, well, Christine was in high school with him. Well, maybe they said, well, Christine, do you remember anything? Anything we have on him? Maybe he groped me. Okay, we'll use that. We'll blow it all up, just to delay all these delay tactics to stop it from happening. So that's what this is. She's an asset that they're calling on to interrupt the process. Now there's someone else that's I caught someone else accusing him of something sexual, and not in high school, but in college, of exposing himself. Now, does this guy look like the guy that's going to come up to him and just expose himself? Flasher, get a raincoat. This is desperate attempts. Now, this guy has had a stellar career. Nobody that knows him is saying that anything like this has ever happened. It's just not who he is. So we know that this is something that has been that they've come up with in the last minutes to try and stop it, because as soon as he takes his seat, it's also feared that two of the other Supreme Court justices will have to recuse themselves of ruling on these FISA things. So that means and they're probably the Democrat appointed justices. That's going to land it all square on the conservative side, or Republican side, and constitutional side. And you also notice that in some of these hearings with Kavanaugh, there was this extensive questioning of him in regards to military tribunals, right? And the ability for what side of the law has more precedence? Is it, if in this case, does military supersede the civil? And the answer was yes. So you can see that they're anticipating, along with Gitmo being outfitted with 30,000 new beds. Like, why? Is there a big terrorist coming up? They've defeated ISIS, right? They've dismantled it. Trump got rid of ISIS like that, right? Relatively within 6 months, they were totally being dismantled, and now they're down to one last stronghold. And then you have this back and forth on that in Syria, where it's like, we're going to go in and take out taking out Assad. We're going to take out Assad if he uses chemical weapons. Now, I think this is just a ruse. I think that they're saying that, but they're really going in and they're wiping out ISIS, just as the and telling the Russians, no, you don't stop us from getting Assad. But of course, after they wipe out ISIS with all of the bombing, then the Russians move in. Now, this has already happened once before or twice before. So this is a turning the narrative upside down. So they're saying one thing and doing another, right? So this is exactly what what the system has been doing anyway. They're just flipped it around on the deep state. The deep state is going down, and that's what we can look forward to. At this point, we know that Christine Ford is just came out to try and stop this from moving forward, but I don't think it's going to have much legs. It's going to end very shortly. And our new emergency broadcast has been rescheduled for October 3rd, I believe at 1:18 p.m. So, okay, with regard to that, if anyone would like to chime in, I've got David is on with me. You're welcome to unmute yourself and we can talk about it. This is very interesting situation. But I'm also going to check and see if there's any questions in the chat room. Hello from Kuwait. Well, everyone around the world is interested. Hello, Lawrence. All right. All right. Well, I got no questions of it, but you're welcome to put questions in the chat area or put them or come on with the link. Now I can post the link again if anyone is interested. You're welcome to jump in here. So now I've been following Q now since I think about April, though, and I did look back then and saw so it's very interesting. But always the question. Now at that time we also had Alex Jones that was starting to poo-poo Q. Now I liked watching Alex Jones, but now it's Q had been given some warnings, like be careful who you follow. Now, not to say that Alex Jones is not saying correct things. I think everything he says is correct, but is it a part of a control system? That is, a controlled opposition. And that may be what we've been dealing with there. So I've been looking at this now. Jerome Corsi has been the one that was part or has links to the Mossad, Israeli secret police, right? So these things are. Oh, David is waving. Hello. Yeah, you're welcome to come on, David. I mean, you just have to unmute. You need me to do it for you? I can try. Let's see, unmuting. Yeah, it's not unmuting. So anyway, so these are the things that we've been watching through Q and things that are unfolding. So what exactly the truth is being revealed? And it's a process because a lot of people are so tuned in to just the media, the mainstream media, and they just follow what it says. It doesn't matter if it's Fox or CNN. They are controlled on both ends. They're both controlled. They just have to cover the spectrum because there's a lot of people are going to search for a voice so that they can hear. So Fox filled that role. Now, they're also, what Q has been talking about right now is a narrative change because this is looking like it's going to roll out and the media will have to try and weather the storm. What are they going to do? They can't keep saying these things when the evidence is out there in front of the people and so many people have woken up because of Q. It's now in the neighborhood of tens of millions of people watching Q every day, right? So now that is now steamrolling, and so the media is not going to be able to keep pushing this up very, very much longer. They're going to have to make some sort of push to in the direction of where things are going. So they're going to have to flip on the deep state or be completely disregarded, and they're already in big enough trouble as they are. How are they going to rescue themselves? But we may be looking at in this emergency broadcast everything from the loss of Google and Facebook and Twitter, meaning that they're shut down. The internet could be shut down. There could be a lot of things along this line that are happening. There's apparently, I found another video. Now this is, I have only found one source of this, but apparently the system that holds all the keys for the entire internet. It's like when you get these security certificates, every time you get a website, every time you go through this, you get a website and you are looking to get anything, email, they all have security certificates. Apparently, there's one place where these are all issued from. The head of that is one company, and that company's CEO is the or the former business law partner of Hillary Rodham Clinton. So Hillary is in control of all of the certificates. That means they have the ability to go into everything. If you have the security certificate, you can go into any website, any email, anything. And if they're controlling all of those from one location, and the reason why I watched this video is the guy that actually owns the patent on the technology was the one that was suing them because they grabbed it, right? And they're using it. So this is something that is also a part of the security problem. And even the NSA has their security certificates, right? That they have to get from the same place. And so Hillary has everything. Anyway, so I think that's it for today. I appreciate everyone from joining. I'm going to keep doing this as an open session, so I look forward to people coming on and wanting to participate and have conversation about Q and what's happening with the Deep State and the Cabal. I've been working towards, fighting the Cabal in my ways, even through what I deal with TBC Coin. It's basically an abundance-based coin, not market-driven, which means it's not on the controlled marketplace, right, where those financial systems have been corrupted, even in Bitcoin. So we see these big swings where the market makes all this money and you end up on a lose situation. So TBC Coin goes against the grain, and it's for the community, and its algorithm just pushes the price up. So if you're interested in joining that, you can get coins for free. All you got to do is find the kringle.cash link in the video below, and then click on that. You sign up. You end up with I think it's $2,000 worth of free coins, but you have to redeem them, get points, and you can get more points. There's a lot of promotions, so you get more and more points, and when you redeem points, you get coins, and you can get a lot of value of coin. And right now, we have 3.3 million members in the world, and as our goal is to get to 1 billion members, by the time we get there, those coins will then increase to astronomical levels in value, because the price is tied to the members. So we get more members, the higher the price goes. So and on that note, please subscribe. Please go ahead and give your thumbs up, because these things are important, and do your own videos. And if you need help in getting set up to do videos, I do offer courses for doing that on buykringles.online. Look under the educational center. And there's promotion there for getting $300 worth of TBC, and that'll include broadcast training for even more broadcast rewards. Anyway, so I thank you all for coming, and we look forward to the next time. Go Q, fight, fight, fight.